Thanks, Lauren. Appreciate that. All right, we'll move on to board activities and responsibilities, the reorg, reorg. Back in front of you. Thanks, Lauren. You good? All right, so first, resolution to amend tax rolls. Recommended the Board of Education approve the following resolution authorizing the school district treasurer to make necessary adjustments in the tax roll with approval of the superintendent. Resolved that the Board of Education Norwich City School District authorized the school district treasurer the approval of the superintendent to make the required adjustments to the tax roll when the treasurer has received the appropriate affidavits from the assessors indicating an incorrect assessment, and when they have received the appropriate notice from the Shenango County tax director confirming the incorrect assessment. And be it further resolved that the school district treasurer, upon receiving the appropriate papers, then be authorized to direct the school tax collector to amend the tax roll and refund the erroneous tax collection or change the amount of tax due. And be it further resolved that the school district treasurer be required to inform the Board of Education of any adjustments made through the informational section of the board's monthly agenda. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. I'll second.
First by Chris, second by Clyde. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Number 2, annual school district election and budget vote. It's recommended that the Board of Education authorize the following actions in connection with the annual school district elections and budget vote. A, verify or alter school election boundaries for Norwich City School as follows. All residents residing in the city of Norwich and town of North Norwich districts 1 and 2, North Norwich District 1, Oxford Districts 1 and 2, New Berlin District 1, Guilford District 1, towns of Plymouth, Smyrna, Preston, McDonough, Parsalia will vote at the Norwich City School District 89 Midland Drive. B, appoint up to 8 inspectors of election at said election location and set the rate of pay to be determined. C, authorize publications of legal notices, and D, set hours of voting for election day from 11 to 8. So I have a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
First by Brian, second by Chris. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Number 3, consent agenda. It's recommended that the Board of Education approve inclusion of the following types of actions within a consent agenda for the regular Board of Education meetings. And there's a list of those there.
Motion.
Well, first,
Second.
approved by Brian, second by Chris. Any comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. 4, policies. It's recommended that all school district policies in effect or adopted during the 22-23 school year be re-adopted and remain in effect for the 23-24 school year unless subsequently amended. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
5, federal funds compliance with regulations. It's in order to continue with federal programs, it's recommended that the Board of Education renew its commitment to comply with federal regulations administered to the state education department. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Chris,
I'll second.
second by Clyde. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Legal defense of board employees. Indemnification and legal defense resolution. It's recommended that the Board of Education authorize the following resolution pertaining to public officers law, section 18.
Motion.
Moved by Brian Burton, second by Deb Phelps. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Appointment of school district officers. It's recommended that the following district officers be appointed for the 23-24 school year. You see the list there. Do I have a motion to approve? Moved by Missy. Second by Clyde. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations, Missy, on your first.
Do I gotta get in there?
Number 2, approval of resolution. It's recommended the Board of Education approve the following resolution to establish the standard workday and reporting for elected and appointed officials for New York State retirement.
Motion.
Moved by Brian Burton,
Second.
second by Chris. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. School physician, it's recommended the Board of Education appoint Jennifer O'Reilly, Bassett Healthcare as our school physician for the 23-24 school year. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Moved by Deb,
Second.
second by Missy. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
School attorney, it's recommended that the firm Ferrara Forenza PC be appointed school attorney at the following hourly rates, which will remain in effect through June 30th, 2024. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Moved by Brian, second by Missy. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. School auditors, it's recommended that Insero and Company certified public accountants be appointed auditors to be compensated at an amount not to exceed $30,000 for services ending June 30th, 2024. Do I have a motion?
I'll move.
Moved by Clyde,
Second.
second by Chris. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Official newspaper, it's recommended that the Evening Sun be designated as the official district newspaper for the 23-24 school year. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
By Chris,
Second.
second by Kieran. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Awarding of bids, it's recommended the Board of Education authorize the Assistant Superintendent for Business with the approval of the superintendent to award all bids to the lowest responsible bidder meeting specifications. Do I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Moved by Brian, second by Chris. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Special project authorizations recommended that the Board of Education authorize the superintendent or his designated representative to sign and submit all applications for federal funds as well as other funds that may be available to the school district. The Board of Education, however, reserves to itself the right to accept all funds. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Chris, second by Kieran. Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Travel, conference, and participation in organizations. District credit card approval. It's recommended the Board of Education approve the use of 2 credit cards for official school business purposes only, one for the superintendent and the other for the assistant superintendent for business with a combined credit limit not to exceed $15,000. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Moved by Brian. Second by Missy. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Mileage reimbursement. It's recommended the Board of Education approve mileage reimbursement consistent with the IRS mileage rate regulation. Further, tolls and overnight parking charges for out of district travel on official school business be approved. It's further recommended that all employees be eligible for reimbursement at the then current IRS mileage rate for all in-district mileage while in the performance of their official duties, with the exception of traveling to and from the place of residence or between buildings or professional meetings. No motion.
Motion.
Moved by Missy,
Second.
second by Kieran. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Conferences and out of district travel. It's recommended that the Board of Education approve the following resolution. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Moved by Brian,
Second.
second by Chris. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Participation in association. It's recommended the Board of Education approve membership in the Chenango County School Boards Association. It is further recommended that the board approve participation in conferences and meetings sponsored by these associations within established budgetary appropriations. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
By Chris. Second by Missy. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Finance designation of signature on district bank accounts. It's recommended the district treasurer and assistant superintendent for business be designated as signatures on all North City School District bank accounts. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Chris,
Second.
second by Deb. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. District wire transfers. It's recommended the Board of Education authorize the district treasurer with the approval of the assistant superintendent for business to perform wire transfers with a maximum limit of $5 million to be transferred at one time. Do I have a motion?
So
The
moved.
only question I have now, is that enough these days? It is. Okay.
Moved by Chris.
Yep.
Do I have a second,
Second.
second by Kieran. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye. Brian skipped on that.
Okay,
Skip
thanks.
two.
Designation of signature on the extracurricular activity funds. It's recommended the central treasurer be designated as the signature on all extracurricular activity funds. Do I have a motion? Moved by Clyde,
Second.
second by Deb. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Number 4, school purchasing agent. It's recommended that the assistant superintendent for business be appointed school purchasing agent. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Chris. Second by Clyde. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Bonding of officials. It's recommended that the Board of Education authorize official undertakings as defined by section 2527 of the education law in the form of a faithful performance blanket position bond in the amount of $1 million with additional indemnity as specifically designated for the following positions. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Moved by Brian,
Second.
second by Chris. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Official depository, it's recommended the following bank be designated as official depository for the 23-24 school year, MBT Bank NA.
So moved.
Moved by Chris,
Second.
second by Kieran. All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Yeah, make sure.
We noted that Brian Burton and Clyde Burke abstained and 5 approvals. Number 7, authorization of budget transfers. It's recommended that the Board of Education authorize the Assistant Superintendent for Business with the approval of the superintendent to make budget transfers within budget appropriation categories of not more than $100,000. Budget transfers in excess of this shall be made by the Board of Education upon recommendation of the superintendent. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Moved by Brian,
Second.
second by Clyde. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Investment in idle funds. It's recommended that the Board of Education authorize the Assistant Superintendent for Business and the District Treasurer with approval of the superintendent to continually invest idle funds in certificates of deposit or interest accounts offering the most favorable rates. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Chris,
Second.
second by Deb. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Non-resident tuition. It's recommended that the Board of Education approve the non-resident tuition rates for the 23-24 school year as follows. Do I have a motion to approve? Moved by Missy, second by Clyde. Any discussion on this? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Certifying payrolls. It's recommended that the superintendent and or assistant superintendent for business be authorized to certify payrolls. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second by first, or moved by Chris, second by Brian. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Approval of revenue anticipation note resolution. It's recommended that the Board of Education approve the following resolution. Revenue anticipation note resolution of the Board of Education, the City School District of the City of Norwich, New York, adopted July 12, 2023, authorizing the issuance of revenue anticipation notes in anticipation of the collection of revenues to be received in the fiscal year ending June 30, 2024. Do I have a motion? Moved by Kieran, second by Clyde. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Authorization of hiring and payroll. It's recommended the Board of Education authorize the superintendent of schools to hire and approve payroll for employees between Board of Education meetings. Final approval will be at the next regularly scheduled board meeting. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Moved by Chris. Second by Brian. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. OCs and lunch program. Execution of OCs contracts. It's recommended that the Board of Education authorize the superintendent to execute contracts on behalf of the school district with DCMO BOCES for contract services. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Missy, second by Chris. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Career and Technical Education Advisory Council. It's recommended that the Board of Education authorize the Career and Technical Education Advisory Council of the Delaware, Shenango, Madison, Otsego BOCES to act as an advisory council for the Norwich City School District during the 23-24 school year. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Chris, second by Brian. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Approval to participate in National School Lunch Program. It's recommended the Board of Education approve the Norwich City School District's participation in the National School Lunch Program for the 23-24 school year. Do I have a motion? Moved by Clyde, second by Missy. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Board committees. It's recommended that the board of Education approve the following committees for the 23-24 school year. Committee members will be determined in August. Internal Audit and Finance Subcommittee, Policy Subcommittee, Capital Project Planning Subcommittee. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Moved by Chris, second by Clyde. Any discussion on this?
Can I ask a question?
Mhm.
Is there any possibility of adding further subcommittees? When we talked about the community action subcommittee at times. Is that something that can be added later on, or are we kind of set? I don't know. Yes. Okay.
First committees talked about was that to be a scope, has to be a purpose, right, and design for the subcommittee that we have. That's something we'll bring back to the table. We have to do it.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, building and student activities, student accident insurance. It's recommended that the Board of Education authorize the district to enter into a contract with Right Risk Management LLC Insurance for the provision of accident insurance coverage for all students in grades pre-K through 12. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Moved by Chris, second by Clyde. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Extracurricular Activity Fund Central Treasurer. It's recommended the Board of Education appoint the following individual as central treasurer for the extracurricular activity funds at the noted salary stipend. It is further recommended that the respective building principal be designated as chief faculty advisor. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Chris, second by Kieran. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Petty cash, it's recommended that the following petty cash funds be established for the 23-24 school year, and they're listed below. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll bring the motion.
Moved by Chris, second, or by Clyde, second by Missy. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Committee appointment strategic planning team. It's recommended the Board of Education appoint the following members of the strategic planning team for the 23-24 school year, and they're listed by each building and district office below. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Moved by Brian,
Second.
second by Chris. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Committee appointment, Committee on Special Education and Preschool Special Education. It's recommended the Board of Education appoint the following members of the Committee on Special Education and Preschool Special Education for the 23-24 school year, listed below. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Moved by Brian,
Second.
second by Chris. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Committee appointment, Subcommittee on Special Education. It is recommended the Board of Education appoint the following members of the Subcommittee on Special Education for the 23-24 school year. Do you have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Chris, second by Missy. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Board Dignity for All Students. It's recommended the Board of Education approve the following DASA building coordinators for the 23-24 school year, listed below. Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Chris,
Second.
second by Deb. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Committee appointment site-based teams. It's recommended the Board of Education approve the site-based teams for the 23-24 school year, and they're listed there. Do I have a motion? Moved by Missy,
Second.
second by Chris. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Frank, can I get you water or anything?
Yeah. Marathon, great job. Great job.
Kind of thing.
No, please.
Oh, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Work on. All right, so now we'll skip over right to the standard agenda. We should all have that in your packet. Well,
Don't we have to adjourn?
We have to adjourn the reorg meeting.
yeah.
I make a motion to adjourn the reorganizational meeting.
Motion, so moved by Chris to adjourn the reorg meeting, second by Brad Burton. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, that's a reorg. Okay, so now we'll start up. I think we technically we need to do the pledge again. After we've done it.
That's for fast. And then
Yeah, I think we've done the pledge once, so I think we're good there. So we'll start in on the regular meeting agenda. So first on minutes, it's recommended the Board of Education adopt the minutes from the June 21st, 23 regular meeting. So I have a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Chris. Second by Missy. Any discussion? Brian Burton abstains. Yeah. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. I assume we don't have any public comment.
Thanks.
No public comment.
No.
No.
No public.
Okay, so move on to superintendent's report. Mr. Ryan, we're up.
Sure, welcome officially to Missy.
Thank
you. That was an absolute whirlwind introduction. Sounds like, it looks like, I promise you, it's not like that any other time during the school. Okay, so nice job. You have no idea what you just approved. Great job. Just a quick update for Board of Education. We have 10 positions, current vacancies that are out there. I want to share with you what they are in hopes and with a challenge that you might help support recruitment for us. We have a single K through 6 special educator that we're looking for. We have one elementary teacher we're looking for. We have a speech pathologist that we are looking for. We have a couple polka dotted uniforms that we're looking for in the area of math, 7 through 12, as well as special education. If you look at websites across the entire state, just about every single district has a vacancy in math and special education, probably except Windsor would be the exception. We have a middle school art position, we have a middle school nurse position. We have a counselor / social worker, right? We'll certainly will be opposed to either of those that are high school, and director of HR. Interviews are on the 24th for the director of HR. And there are a couple of those positions that we have some candidates lined up, and I would sort of characterize it as pending. So not in terrible shape going into this, as we sort of almost, I guess it's halfway, right? Almost through July. So I feel okay with where we are right now. Some of these positions are going to be difficult fills. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we start the school year with some existing vacancies. So our team is doing some great things in terms of recruitment right now. Jess, actually, I don't know if you guys have seen it, did a video of some students talking about what a math teacher means to them, what Norwich wants in a math teacher. And it was, 3 or 4 kids talking about that, and that was part of our advertisement. It's out there on great job to Jess. I would ask Jess really quick to just offer an update on summer programming.
Great, yeah, so Alyssa and Sarah are facilitating Stay and Play. So we have upwards of 150 students. 100 at the elementary level, and I think what's great is about 50 at the secondary. It's great to engage our 6th through 12th graders. Also, what's great about it is that Valley Heights has agreed to partner with us for a location. So kids are learning in a different space, but that's great, right? So learning some different things there. So we're really, really thankful and grateful that we're able to partner with them. And then our secondary students are at the high school, picking up a couple of spaces in the English wing, but they're honestly out and about most of the time. That's what the staff who facilitated Stay and Play last year loved about it, is that, secondary students were out like community learning, whether it be in the courthouse or what have you. And then, staffing issues abound, right? So typically our students will attend summer school BOCES, and they also are struggling to staff summer school. So I'm really proud of a couple of our teachers who stepped up in the 11th hour and said, absolutely. Our students need summer help and are teaching, math specifically. So really, really proud and grateful for that as well. So overall, even though we're, in the deep throes of construction right now, it's great to have community partners who are able to fill those gaps for us.
Speaking of capital projects, a lot of work happening, right, in all 4 of our buildings. Hopefully you've taken a second just to drive by Perry Brown. I would encourage you to head down Conkey Ave and look at what will soon be, right? Certainly Gibson it's absolutely crazy the amount of dirt they're moving there. All the roofs are being done, right? HVAC, so many people working in tandem to pull this off. I'm asking you right now to cross both fingers and toes for a readiness plan for September. As you look at it right now, you begin to have some doubts from that, but I've been assured multiple times by our construction management team, they're doing a great job. They'll be ready to go.
Yes.
Then a good one was they wanted to work at Gibson one at like 2 AM and you're like, personally, no. You may not begin work at 2 AM. Oh, 4:30.
I said, well, let's shoot for 6. So last bit, just a quick update that I want to share with you is yesterday in my email, those of you that are on the internal audit and finance committee, we've been waiting for, Ryan, we've been waiting for the approval of the smart schools.
Oh, the spike, yeah, oh, Jesus.
It has officially been approved. And as soon as we receive it, we are reinvesting that over $2 million in that class. Very, very favorable rate.
You didn't tell Brian Bartlett that it got approved finally.
I did.
Yeah.
He said all I had to do was leave.
Still, it's his fault.
The kick it along.
So it's a great celebration, a lot of.
We literally talked about that every, and it was the same all day. Everything they need, we're waiting. Got everything they need, we're waiting.
So that's your superintendent's update, because we're going to be transitioning into a great session with Dr. Jay Standers.
I do think it's, I mean, you certainly have some challenging positions to fill, but in the past, we always do like earth science, biology, chemistry. And I'll cross fingers and toes that that is one. It's something.
It's not on here, but I just wanted to say again, having Macker here is awesome. I think that, you know, having walked around for a couple days, yeah, we had rain on Sunday, but you know, your staff did a great job getting ready and I think that it went fantastically and it's really great to have it here at the school and the support and the community surrounding it. I thought it was fantastic to have it here, so
Yeah.
kudos to your team.
Yeah, great.
The
Public shout out to Paul Potter, who's one of our head custodians at the high school. A fantastic job. This was given his all day long.
Yeah.
Joe Alger, Jim Lucha, I had several guys to mention, but I agree, Chris.
Yeah, that was amazing because I went by a few times and I was around and just to see that team descend on things that needed to get done and all the. It went from having a whole bunch of HVAC and a crane in the parking lot on Thursday afternoon.
Yeah.
To having Gus Macker set up by Friday.
Yep.
Was amazing. They did a great job. Yeah.
So we have a lot of footage coming. We did a lot of drone footage that day with Mr. Retired. So we put some stuff together in collaboration.
Yeah, I second what Chris said. I mean, I referee both days, as you can see, sunscreen is not part of my regimen, but should have been. But I refereed Joe's daughter and I refereed Joe's kid. I never saw Joe. And I felt bad for him, but that's because he was like a busy bee everywhere. I saw Jim, I saw Paul, I saw all of them, and they were flying all over every day. And the cool thing about the school is, yeah, the rain descended on us and those, if people know what's called the dream courts and sport courts, you can't play on them when they're wet. And because we have the school, we were able to pivot quick and let the what's called top men and top women's play inside. That wouldn't have happened otherwise. And so it was like instantaneous collaboration, decisions made. Everything was,
It was 6:45 on Sunday morning that decision was made.
wasn't it? It seemed like it was probably something, a snap decision, but the coordination was incredible.
Yeah.
I did not hear a single complaint. I'm sure they were there, but I didn't hear them. Any other comments? Anything from you, Mr. Ryan?
Good, thanks.
Okay, we'll move on to number 4, consent item. Approval of July 2023 special education and preschool special education report. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Chris, second by Brian. Any discussion? All those in favor? Carries. And the next one, surplus of Stanford Gibson books, Perry Brown books. Twice, there's a lot of them. Middle school and high school books. So do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Chris, second by Brian. Any discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries. Number 5, action items, board policy approval. It's recommended that the Board of Education approve the attached board policies for second reading. A606 substitutes, a 30110 RTI policy, a 306.6 print and non-print update, a 300.11 Title I program update, and a 301.3 school volunteer policy. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
So moved by Chris,
Second.
second by Deb. Any discussion on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Board meeting calendar approval. It's recommended the Board of Education approve the attached board meeting calendar for the 23-24 school year, and we do have that as part of our packet. Do I have a motion to approve? Moved by Missy,
Second.
second by Chris. Any discussion?
Just had a question on the dates. We have a lot of dates that aren't the third Wednesday. Is there a reason why we moved to 5 dates off from the third Wednesday or?
Yeah, there are conflicts in district and.
Any other comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Okay, personnel recommendations. Do I have a motion to approve the personnel recommendations? Moved by Brian, second by Clyde. Discussions here. Only question, because we talked about it. I know there's a lot of coaching. I know not everyone's there. I assume that that's just, there's interviews, there's things still going on.
Interviews or a lack of candidates.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there was at one point discussion too about extracurriculars being on here. That'll come at a subsequent meetings.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Any other discussion?
The board members, when it comes to athletics, right, our goal this year was to really encourage that year-round involvement and engagement with students. We have, make sure that the coaches know, players know exactly who the coach is, right, so trying to get out in front of that as fast as we can.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
I abstain. Can't approve myself here. Straight. Yeah. Okay, I assume there's no more public comment. We've been brought up and that. All right, I'll entertain a motion to enter into executive session. We can skip that. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the regular meeting.
Second.
Moved by Brian, second by Clyde. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. I'll entertain a motion to begin the board retreat.
So moved.
By Chris, second by Brian. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.